Derrick Nix has been a staple of the Ole Miss coaching staff for the past 10 seasons. However, the journey that he has taken to get to this point in his career has been a circuitous one. Unlike his rushing style as a star running back at the University of Southern Mississippi.
Back to Nick, stutter step. Here comes Derrick, right side. Sidelines to the 30, the 20, 15, 10. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Southern Miss. Derrick Nix.
At Southern Miss? Oh, shoot, man. Derrick Nix was incredible.
He was a special running back.
I played against him. Coach Nix, this is. Make sure you get this. He had the biggest shoulder pads in college football history playing running back. If y'all don't believe me, go watch it. Go to YouTube. The biggest shoulder pads ever. But he was a heck of a football player. Ain't no doubt about that.
You know, back then you had the big backs that was physical, that could get downhill and run you over and take the ball to the house, and that was him.
I'm going out there positive every play, you know, trying to be the hardest back there is to tackle out there, and be the toughest player, you know. I'm not the fastest or the quickest, but I control how tough I am.
Being able to say, hey, one guy's not going to ever bring me down. Took pride in the ability of breaking a tackle and getting more than was blocked up for, and that's hence where the nickname came from.
They would always rave on him. You know, Derrick Nix this, Derrick Nix that, the Bull. But I think they would call him the Bull.
That nickname, the Bull, I think he earned that name just from running people over every Saturday.
Allman, the handoff, Nix sweeping left with blockers, cuts back in, touchdown Southern Miss. The baby Bull, Derrick Nix gets it in. He was running out of gas, but the baby Bull takes it in.
Now the Golden Eagles go on to win a hard-fought ball game out in Houston, Texas, over the Cougars by a score of 6-3. One guy who didn't get to play in the ball game, but this guy is certainly, Jeff, an important part of the football team, running back Derrick Nix, who's been out the last few weeks.
Yeah, and we were disappointed he didn't have a chance to play. We thought he was going to be ready to go. You know, he's had a kidney ailment and had a reaction to some medicine there, and it caused him to retain a lot of fluids.
It all started probably in year 2000, playing at the University of Memphis, sprained an ankle. Went through a process of trying to get myself back healed so I can come back and play. And I guess within a month's time, the uninjured ankle swelled as big as the injured ankle. Did some blood samples and saw that I was not having proper kidney function.
Derrick would spend the next 2 years dealing with the effects of his unknown illness, but he didn't let it slow him down. The bruising running back would return to play his senior year for the Black and Gold, rushing for close to 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. The baby Bull was poised to be a high NFL draft pick, but he cautiously allowed that thought into his mind, knowing that something still wasn't right.
I was starting to feel so bad during the season when my kidney function was failing. Didn't really know what I was feeling. I just knew I wasn't up to 100%. I'd already been invited to play in the Senior Bowl, invited to go to the Combine. I felt like I had a great opportunity to advance my career. I played my final game in Hattiesburg in late November against East Carolina, and then a week later I found out that my kidney function was below 10. Started immediately doing dialysis the next week, and went through the process of trying to find matches for a donor to be for a kidney transplant. And luckily it didn't go long. My older brother, Marcus, who's 10 years older than me, ended up being a perfect match. So I did about 7 months of dialysis, learned how to do it at home. I was finishing up school at Southern Miss as well, and had a transplant in June of 2003, and really hadn't looked back.
With playing in the NFL out of the question, Derrick would cling to his love of the game and start his coaching career the very next season, landing in Oxford in 2007.
You know, he was a tough, hard-nosed runner, and you can tell that he was that way when he's out there coaching his running backs. He demands a lot from his players, but I think that comes from some of the stuff that he went through.
Nice, good. A bull in the china shop. Squeeze it, sweet. House call. House call, Bruce. House call, Bruce. He's rushing, and you get on this shoulder. Get on that shoulder so he run around you. Okay? Wheel yourself forward. Wheel yourself forward. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Way to finish that run, baby. You gave him a headache right there now. You gave him a headache there, baby.
Football is life, a term thrown around weight rooms and practice facilities all over the nation. But at Ole Miss, there is a distinct difference. Football is family. And although the former running back likes to see shades of himself in his current student athletes, existence has recently taken on a new meaning with the birth of his first child, Ava.
I can't describe it. People try to tell you that, kids change your life and try to get you prepared for it, in a good way. And I can't describe it. It's just an instant love, kind of like, Jesus having love for us.
You want to see Coach Nix actually, his demeanor change, let his daughter get on FaceTime or let her walk in the door, and he completely melts. She definitely has his heart.
Since his daughter came, it's changed his life. Really, you can really tell he's happy, man. He's in another state of mind. He takes every day, enjoys every day. He tells us he can't be down. Cause I look at my daughter, she's happy all the time. Sometimes I be feeling down. He said, that just makes me get up and want to go do my job even more.
Whoa! Whoa! You got those black pellets on your hand? Look at that. Like little ants.
He's an awesome dad, and that baby loves him. When he comes around, she's smiling, she lights up, she's reaching for him.
Earlier this week, after practice, her face just lit up and she took off running. And Emmanuel McCray, E-Man, he was like, so that's what it's about right there. And I said, yes. That smile from both of them when they see each other makes, if your day was terrible, when you see that, it just, it makes everything, it just puts it in perspective. Everything else doesn't matter.
I think Akeem Judge said it best maybe a year ago. He said, man, some of us come from all different walks of life. We don't have a mom or dad in some scenarios, and to see our coaches interact with their wives, their kids, gives them a great example of what they should do later on when they have a family. And you can say and talk as much as you want, but they are visual guys, and they see how you interact, and that's what they take in.
Ava. What is she? Ava. Teletubby.
I don't look back at it as something as a disappointment. I think it was all planned out and it was supposed to be this way. I was supposed to be an example of a guy that had some pretty good ability and had maybe a chance to go play on the next level, and but it didn't happen. But he used me in a different way, and I've taken that to heart. Take pride in everything I do and try to do it at a very high level, and just being a great example.